Trey, have you ever been involved in a fracas, a scuffle on the floor?
I don't even know what their first word is.
Fracas. That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's a too American.
Kerfuffle?
Wemby knows what a fracas is.
Wemby definitely knows who that is. Yeah, scuffle. Sure. Altercation.
Yeah.
That's the best
Have
way.
you been involved in one before? I've never thrown a punch in my life. So I feel like I am wildly underqualified for this conversation about like what's grounds for a fight in a game. Because I've never been involved in one, which probably means that I wasn't good enough to be involved in one.
I've lost a fight before. I've won fights. I've been jumped. I understand what it's like to be punched in the face. So, yeah, I've been in this and also been in team fights too. So I get it.
What was a memorable team fight that you'd been involved in?
We were in JuCo and we were playing up north, and the team was warming up on our side.
Unwritten rule, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it got to a point where like the dude just like kind of like just didn't care, and like one of my teammates just was a hothead. He told the dude to move. He took the dude after the ball was shot. He took the ball and threw it, and when he threw it, they start fighting, and then we all are coming from our respective locker rooms, and like we just had to fight. You know, because you don't want to be that teammate that just doesn't do anything. And it's like, you know, because now everybody's looking at you crazy, especially on like a JuCo level. Like, you got to deal with that. These are people that steal your socks. These are people that, you know, you share food with. You don't have a lot of funds. There's no cafeteria. There's no, you know what I mean?
It's grimy.
It's a very, you know, very low level brotherhood there. But
everyone's scrapping. JuCo.
Everybody's scrapping, but like you might not even like most of your teammates the whole time you're playing there. It's very rare that you love your JuCo teammates
because you're trying to get out of there.
Yeah, it's really like it's jail. it's basketball jail. You know, you're just trying to do your sentence and get out of there. That's it.
And so you guys had to tip off after that fight.
No, the game got canceled. I mean, because like at the end of the day, I think I got suspended 1 game. A couple of my teammates got suspended 3 games. Like it was just a lot of stuff. But like, you know, because it's the embarrassment of the institution too. You know what I mean? Like that's the overall bruff of it versus the NBA. Like when you're fighting in college, bro, like you're representing a whole institution. So it's like, who cares who was right or wrong? You're supposed to like turn the other cheek and just call it a day, or just like be the remaining available players. Like at least have 5 guys that didn't fight so y'all can keep the game going. And nah, it was an all-out brawl. Even the coaches got involved, which was great.
You saw your coach throw a punch?
What? I play for Madman Madec, bro. I play for Madman Madec. My coach is on my coach is on what's it, sports science? Right? There's a segment of him, bro, of how he makes player stress level go up during free throws.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
You see it, Ed Madec?
Yeah, I think I remember this segment.
That's my college coach, bro.
Oh wow.
Yo, he's like, that's why I always laugh. I'm like, yo, stress, handling press, handling getting yelled at, getting slandered by crowds. It didn't matter. He's from the school of Mike Dunlap, school of Vance Wahlberg, 7 seconds or less, press every play, lead the country in fucking 3-pointers, lead the country in scoring, fastest possessions. That's what it was. High turnover games. You know what I mean? Like we wanted to force a lot of turnovers, but we also accepted that your point guard could have 5 to 7 turnovers because of the speed and pace we were playing. And Madec was just one of those. So the idea that he was even on there, I love that. That's like locked in history, because they can be like, yo, who you play for? I'll be like, yo, that guy right there. Yeah. He broke a recruit's nose, bro.
That feels like you should never.
Like nobody cared, bro. You get there,
broke a dude's nose.
Listen,
he clocked a recruit, a guy he's trying to bring in. Okay,
here's the rules, Tom. You're gonna play him 1-on-1 full court. because he's in shape like a motherfucker.
Oh, this guy.
You're gonna play him one-on-one full court. You no tools, no accessories, no headbands. Like, listen, you better. He says his theme is like a motherfucking gorilla. You gotta power clean 6 a.m. He power cleaned so much, Tom. He had excess meat built right here, bruh, in his collarbone because he cleaned so much. He cleaned on his birthday.
A cushion, like a cushion, like a
yeah,
callus,
it had built a callus on his chest, bruh. Also, every year of his birthday, for his birthday, he would power clean the year. So when he coached us, he was about 34, 35, hair full of gray, right?
Yeah.
He's a caricature of a coach, this guy.
Division II Hall of Famer, Sonoma State, Ed Madec, right? He would take us on these road trips when we played JuCo. We would go to Safeway. Mace is going to hear all this shit, right? He's going to understand all these Bay Area, Northern California-ish. You know what I mean? We're going to Soup Plantation. You know what I'm saying? We're going to these spots, right? The salads, the buffets, right?
Yep.
He would go to Safeway and get us bagels and bananas because we're fucking gorillas.
Oh my God, bro.
You get what I'm saying? We would beat teams by 20 to 30 points and have to lift. And while they're going to their bus, he wanted us to grunt on our fucking power cleans and shit. So we would be like, you know what I mean? If you took a charge, you better run over there and pull your teammate up. If you step out of charge, you're not fucking playing ever. That's why one year I told somebody at Deanza I took fucking 57 charges one season. Right?
Yeah.
Because of that mentality. You know what I'm saying? He would literally use, this logo if you stepped out. Like you know what I mean? And somebody shared with me the other day, I think it was Quinn Richardson, about like micromanaging players, right?
Mm-hmm.
He shared the story about Kobe Bryant and Phil Jackson and Shaq. And Brian Shaw was talking on the pod, I guess, about how he would cuss every player out except Kobe. And he said he had these German Shepherds. And then the German Shepherd trainer was like, yo, you never tell the German Shepherd no the first 8 months because you want them to be like, build their confidence up and also just be the greatest dog, right? And he was like, it resonated how Phil was micromanaging them. Right? He would yell, be on Shaq's ass, be on all the players' ass except Kobe. He would let Kobe because he was like, we're going to need Kobe to be a killer. Like, and also Kobe's never been told no. He's grew up around sisters. He's the baby. You know what I mean? He's always had it his way. So now how could you're going to kill his confidence, which we don't want to do. We want him to be as confident when we need him to be. And it goes back to my coach, right? So I had teammates from the Bronx. I had teammates from like Brooklyn, etc. Right? And I'm from Compton. I had some other LA teammates. He would be like, I'm going to send your black ass back to Compton. Right? Crazy. Now we're in Fresno.
This guy is white.
Yes.
And he's telling, I'm going to send your black ass back to Compton.
Listen. It was a different time back then. Right? But just like he said, Shaq was militant. He grew up on a militant, like, yes, sir, no, sir. So he could handle that shit. I'm from the hood. I've heard worse. I could handle that shit. You feel me? But I had a teammate that was from Clovis.
Mm-hmm.
Both parents, coddled, all that other shit.
He wasn't
him like that, we lose him for the year.
Yep.
And that's why he was a genius. We won a state title. Hustling Rams, bro. That was our theme. We went 34-2.
Wait, what happened with the Gorillas?
What you mean? No. That was just his thing of like, we just fucking just like in the weight room and how we carry ourselves.
I thought the team name was like the Silverbacks or something.
Oh, no. Fresno City Rams. Fresno City Rams. Shout out to Ray for Austin. He's an alum too. but I played 1 year there, won a title, 2006. But I played for Ed Madec, the madman.
The madman.
And my man just lost. He just got, he can't coach again. Can't coach again, bro. It didn't translate.
Oh, what crossed the line now?
Okay, Tom, October 2023, all right? Last October, former Fresno CC coach Ed Madec arrested for allegedly threatening to kill Chancellor. Allegedly threatening to shoot college officials and students. Police said.
Yo, Trey's not even reacting to this. He's like, yeah,
Nope.
This makes sense. Yes.
I love him.
Like Ed.
I love him. I love him, bro. He saved my life. Dead ass. I wish I could, I was doing some bad shit, and that's the coach that gave me my shot. I was an older player too. That was a whole nother thing. Like, I had a couple ACLs and all that other shit. But he also made it to a point. Like, one thing that stuck with me is he never celebrated a fucking win. He act like you've been here before. That was his fucking line. And that's why I'm around a celebrity.
Gorillas don't celebrate. They don't beat
none of that shit. We dominant. We dominant. He's one of the most winning JuCo coaches of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a lot of life lessons, but he was a crazy motherfucker. Like, for real. Like, when I tell people them stories, like, everybody be like, yo, I see how you tore your shit in practice, because I was just going so.
See how you blew out your knee in practice.
That's a whole nother thing. Tom, I played 2 games that season because I tore my ACL in practice. The games were harder than. Listen, the practice was harder than the games.
This all seems problematic.
You thought you could casually throw up hey, Trey, you ever been in a fight?
And I'm learning that Trey,
and we get out of the cold open real quick. No, it's a bottom.
I don't brag about that championship because I didn't contribute much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even wear my ring.
Contributed to your ACL.
Yeah. You sacrificed your body. Fuck the charges and taking charges and sacrifice your body. Literally, a piece of your knee cartilage is in that ring, that championship trophy. Yeah. You gave up your life. Your body.
I was in the grind, though.
All right, that is some of the best anecdotes that I've heard of any coach-player interaction. Trey, thank you for sharing that. We're going to go into all of the fights. I didn't realize that we were going to go in this direction with the Madman, but we're going to go through each of the fights. We're talking the Cam Newton one. We're talking the Wake Duke Filipowski, the injury that never was, court storming, the Mike Conley, Schroder, the Heat Pelicans. And we're going to lead off here with Golden State and the Charlotte Hornets, where Steve Kerr and Steve Clifford are having this moment of shaking hands. And then Steve Clifford goes, "What the fuck?" And it's a great moment. And we're going to go with a Patreon segment about the Clippers rebrand. But first, we're going to talk about what the fuck. Steve Clifford, the coach of the Hornets, they're shaking hands at half court. Steve Kerr, the Warriors win. And then suddenly there's a fracas. Lester Quinones, who is basically, there's a shot clock differential, game clock. He takes a layup, and Miles Bridges takes issue with that, and they get into it. And there's a whole thing. Grant Williams gets in there. Draymond is in there, and there's no suspensions. But I want to know, Trey, your thoughts, or I guess, what would Ed say about this fracas?
Oh, we would be running our lungs out after that. We would be running our
You're saying war. Right, so you're saying if you were the Hornets and you got into it when you got your ass beat, right?
Yes.
This is a game out of hand. You're mad because of this unwritten rule that you can't run up the score in last second situations like this.
I'm going to be honest. Madec probably would have ran on the floor because of someone running up the score on us, just because he's just that noble. But also, if the game is getting ready to be over and we're causing that problem, we're running our lungs out. You get what I'm saying?
You're tearing so many ACLs.
Because he's like, it's Bush League. It's Bush League to actually, insult us. Because we would never do that. We ain't going to do that to a point of like embarrassing our opponent that way. We going to embarrass him a different way. You know what I mean? Because we still got class. And he's just, that's not class. Like, he gonna look at it that way. But
Yes.
if we the ones causing the problem, it's gonna be a long. We're not getting on the bus. We're not going home, even if that's not our gym. We're not.
You're
showering.
walking. You're crawling. You're not even allowed to walk home. You're not allowed to go on the bus. You're crawling. No. Army crawling your way home. That's what's gonna happen.
Run. We're going to run, and then he gonna rip us a new one, right? For another hour. So, bus driver, I don't care what type of time you got to make it back to your schedule to return the bus. We not leaving until they go run, for one. Because I want somebody to quit. I want somebody to quit tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, them the mental games he used to play, where you be like, bro, is basketball really worth it? I've had so many type of thoughts like that. But then I'm also like,
this guy's making you question whether you want to play basketball.
I mean, but if our listeners who actually have played for coaches like this, there's been a lot of careers ended where you're like, yo, that guy was really good. And he came back home and started working a regular job, because coaches have that. College coaches have the most power that they should not have. They should not have, because they dictate your whole livelihood. You could be a 20-point per game guy and somebody call you a mental midget and be like, yo, he can't handle the shit.
And you're done.
And you're cooked, because you're just like, again, mental health shit wasn't there yet. Them conversations wasn't there. So you low-key are attacked for like, and you got to go to class. You got to keep your grades up. You got to do all this other shit. You hurt. You don't, you only got 2 years. You can't get hurt. You can't really afford to, like, you have
no leverage. You got nothing.
You have no leverage. You need this person as much as you. So you're going to take more than what you probably would have pushed back on. But in this particular situation, we would have ran.
Yeah. He would have ran. You guys would have been done.
Yeah, we would have cooked. We would have been tongue out for sure.
So Miles Bridges takes offense to it, and he's right there on the play. And of course, we get Draymond, who's not directing his anger at Miles Bridges for taking issue and starting a fight with his players. Miles Bridges is Teflon to Draymond because they go back to Michigan State. They're boys from Michigan State, right? So then he goes in on who else am I gonna take umbrage here? Can't do it with Miles Bridges, so I'm gonna go after Grant Williams.
Well, and we're gonna play the sound from that, but I texted you guys last week. Charlotte Hornets 4-0 in the Grant Williams era, right? Like they acquired him. Grant's been a punching bag on the last two teams he was on, and maybe this is a fresh start for him. Maybe things are looking up, and then what happens? We get this dust up, and we've got Lester Quinones, who was in the G League, to his face saying, "You a bitch, you a bitch."
That's the trigger, man. That is the trigger.
And now let's hear from Draymond, because I think that Grant wants to be Draymond Green.
Yeah,
he's undersized. He's made his living like as a hustle player, as a defender, and I don't think Draymond likes imitators too much.
And, Miles is my guy. That's my little brother, so I'm not going to sit here and go in on Miles. Miles can do no wrong to me. But Grant Williams got to stop it, man. He can't keep being like this tough guy is going absolutely wrong for him. Like, he's a really nice guy, and for some reason he keeps like trying to jump on the unlikable side. And I must tell you, it's not always fun over here. It's not always a good time, and so I don't know, man. He need to figure it out. Because, boy, I mean, talking too much kind of got you out of Dallas, like overdoing it. And he over there talking too much now. So you might want to slow down and stop all the tough guy stuff. You want to be the president of PA and stuff, man. You can't be out here doing all that stuff. You don't see CJ McCollum running around being a tough guy. Chris was tough as hell as the Players Association president, but like CP's 6 feet. Like, you got to have some nastiness to you to be that great and be 6 feet tall. I don't know what Grant Williams out here doing, man. That dude is he into it with everybody this year. And then he came over to our bench, thought he was about to have a friend. Ain't no friends for you over here, my man. Like, you got to go down there and talk to your guys. You can't come over here and talk to us about what just happened with our players. Like, no, we support him. Also, there's a 2-second differential in the shot clock. Would you like us to take another turnover? We got enough turnovers on this game as it is. With 22 turnovers, you want us to get 23?
Do we have an off the record here? Do we have a Bossa Nova?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. Fire it up.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Wow. It's not going well for him.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
don't know how long it's going to last. He already got paid, though, so good for him, man.
Is Charlotte the last step before
No.
like being done, or
I don't know,
wash
man.
up somewhere else?
He's still decent, but I think he needs a reality check, and I don't think it's set in yet.
Well, usually those come when your contract is up and no one's calling.
And you get that 1-year deal. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh. Yeah. Look, I'm not ready to write him off as this guy who's gonna tough guy his way out of the league. You have to be for he's kind of in that Pat Bev territory where like you can bark a lot, but if you're not an all-star or all NBA guy like Draymond or CP, like it's gonna fall on
he
deaf
hasn't
ears.
done anything. He's made a couple shots in Boston. You know what I mean? Hurt a couple players. And now just like trying to pick on people, you know what I mean? Trying to be this enforcer. And it's like, enforcer's not a sexy job as is. You know what I mean? Like, and also I felt the way about Draymond actually saying that Grant wasn't a tough guy, because I don't believe any outside of beef stew, Isaiah Stewart, he might get my pass as a tough guy. James Johnson, still not even abusing what he could be to the league.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He holds back. He respects the actual art of what he could potentially do. But the guys that are just out here just doing stuff, I don't qualify Draymond as a tough guy, because on the basketball court, guys are expected to play basketball. It's not hockey. It's not like, oh, I'm skating around and then I'm going to go punch somebody. So when you do any ill will to someone on the court, they're never expecting it. There's some trash talk there, but there's never like, okay, this guy's going to literally throw a punch. It is a very slim chance that a punch is going to be thrown. So I could be like, if it was my choice, I would be a terror on the court, because I know I'm not going to get in a real fight. I'm going to be throwing the ball. I'm going to be hitting people extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Because no one's going to take it that far to
You're
potentially.
Charles Barkley throwing the ball at Shaq's head and then just like, yeah, we're not going to fight, but I just need to tell you this. That was fucked up.
Yeah, like, but I would get that much. I would get that respect from the fans and people, and I could sell myself as that tough guy, because people be like, "Yo, don't fuck with Trey. He's crazy." You see him run up on LeBron. You see him run up on Shaq. Like, even though they won't ever hit me.
Tell me if I'm wrong here with Grant Williams. Does it feel like he's got a little bit of he's trying to be hard in the same way that Ja Morant is trying to be hard? He's trying to compensate for something in his past that he's like, he doesn't feel like he's being accepted. So he's Grant Williams from Charlotte, went to Providence Day, was under recruited. He went to Tennessee because Duke, Carolina, Wake, all the North Carolina schools didn't recruit him. He goes to Tennessee, becomes the SEC Player of the Year out of Tennessee, and then he gets drafted. Wasn't a big-time recruit. So he already feels like he's got this chip on his shoulder coming into the league. Then he joins a team that's already making the conference finals every year, the Boston Celtics. They go to the finals. He gets his face stomped.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yep.
It's awful. And he's in it. He's in the mix, and he's always seems like he's trying to instigate a lot. And it feels like Draymond calling him out as a fake tough guy, a studio gangster, whatever you want to call it, that UD called Paul Pierce back in the day. Grant Williams, man, after the game, so the Blazers game last night, the Blazers lost, and the Hornets had the chance going up. They were up big at the end of the game. They just dribbled the clock out, right? And I remember Lamar Hurd, our broadcaster, was like, yeah, it seems like after what happened with the Warriors the other day, that this is intentional, that they're not trying to score. Grant Williams, for all of his warts here and the label that he's gotten from Draymond, they're winning. Like May said, they're winning. So maybe he's got his
5-1
home there. They're 5-1 since the trade. And that might be more about like who they got rid of than who they brought in and just the reset of the culture. But,
it's definitely a culture thing.
Yeah.
And it's still new. It's still new. You know what I mean? Like, again, despite all that bullshit that's going on, he's still coachable. Do you get what I'm saying? He's still going to do the job, but he's going to be a pest at it.
Yeah. Well, what Draymond's saying there is you're a nice guy. You're trying to be the president of the players union. That's, I think, what a lot of this is about, is that Grant is a nerd. Yep. In the way that I love him about him is that he is a nerd. He is a Mensa level smart dude who comes, his mom is an engineer at NASA. And he's a brilliant dude, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like he doesn't have
very big in status, still holds weight, still knows how to throw his weight. But that's what I'm saying. The beauty of basketball is once you walk between those lines, and Tom and Maze, you can relate, is that you could become whoever you want to be in between those lines. And when you leave it, you can let it go. You know what I'm saying? So again, you can't call him a fake tough guy when he's just playing his role.
Well, I think that's the thing, is he thinks that's how he has to be to carve out his spot in the league.
Yes.
And Draymond, who's done it better than anybody as an agitator for a 4-time championship team, is like, I think this is mostly like Draymond protecting his own position. He's like, when he said, you might not like it over here.
Yeah.
That
was hilarious.
It's the Dewey Cox. It's the Dewey Cox. Close the door, Dewey. You don't want to try this.
You don't want none of this.
You don't want none of this. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's actually fun. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I do like it. I want it. You know what I mean? And that's great.
It's great, bro. He's like, you don't want to be a villain, man. And the same. I remember when LeBron tried to be a villain.
Even Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is tamed. He's not doing that extra antic shit no more. Ime's like, cut it out, bro.
Yeah,
you want to play?
It took one coach telling him not to do it.
Ed Madec is like, yeah, straighten out.
Oh, listen. Imagine playing. If Ed Madec coached in the NBA, bro, fans would they would probably treat him like Tibbs because he wants the full, like, yo, you worked on too hard. That's how fans would be. But then they also would love him because he don't take no shit. So it's the same shit of like, I hate to relate in this situation of Draymond saying Miles could do no wrong in his eyes. Ed Madec could do no wrong in my eyes, even though he's just threatened.
Even though he's the chancellor. Yep.
Yeah. You feel me? Like, because I'm going to be like, yo, that's just Madec.
Yeah. That's your guy.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I do see it from that, even no matter how because that's problematic as fuck, Madec. I'm going to call him too. Like, what the fuck he was doing, bro? Like, I'm going to call him for sure. Yeah. You know? But he's a wild
But you have the respect to call him rather than...
For sure.
Right.
And he has the softest voice. That's the funny fucking shit about this shit, Tom.
Oh,
Travonne.
No! This guy... Give me a documentary on this dude.
What's going on with that shit, Travonne? Like, you know what I mean? And he's also the curb guy. You know how, like, y'all seen... You've seen the latest curb?
Which guy?
I don't want to be spoiling.
The guy from the country club?
No, so he's being Leon, bro. He doesn't wear any underwear, bro.
Yeah. He's
a free ball. He always says free ball. Free ball like a man.
Yeah.
Free ball like a man, right? So he'll put his leg up on the table and be talking shit, and you're just like, like Madec, what the fuck, bro? But like, that was Madec.
No, dude.
It's fucking Madec, bro. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck.
All right. We got to go.
Too rich, but we got to move on.
Yeah. All right. He Pelicans. Okay. Zion gets into it. Jimmy Butler's not happy and shit breaks out. Now, Jose Alvarado got into it with Thomas Bryant, and it was fucking funny. It was funny because I didn't realize how small Alvarado was until he tried to jump punch Thomas Bryant on the sidelines by the scores table. And Jimmy's suspended. Jovic is suspended. Nikola Jovic is suspended.
Najee.
Najee versus Jimmy Buckets. That'd be a fun one.
I don't buy the Jimmy Butler tough guy shit. I watched Najee just damn near do him like how was that Orlando Woodridge did Wes Matthews Sr.? Or was that Xavier McDaniel? Xavier McDaniel did Wes Matthews.
Yeah.
Here. Because if Jimmy like that, bro, he not like, oh, my brand. But he took the high road. He's like,
yeah,
you know what? We're gonna see those guys, and I dare you to put him on me. He took that road. And I've also seen the clip where Paul Pierce bumped him, and he just looks the other way. And it was interesting because I'm like, you could intimidate who you want to intimidate in this space. So,
yeah,
it's interesting.
Business decision. Seems like
business decision, even in fights.
Jimmy business. Yeah. But there were no suspensions handed out with the Warriors thing, but there were a bunch of suspensions handed out for the Heat. So the Heat Pelicans. So 3 games for Thomas Bryant and Alvarado, which is funny because like they weren't the ones who started, but they left the bench and then threw punches. Then of course there's more. We got Mike Conley and Dennis Schroder. Another unwritten rule here where Mike Conley's taken a 3 at the end of a game and Dennis Schroder is not happy with it. What would Ed Madec say about that? Again, are we saying the same thing? Is you don't run up the score on us? Like that's
we would definitely be forehead to forehead arguing.
So he's backing Dennis Schroder there. It's like you deck the guy if he's shooting.
Hell yeah. This is our house, especially as if it's the home game. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Because we'll take the loss. We'll take it on the chin. Cool. Y'all beat us. We'll see y'all again. Cool. What did we do wrong? But when you're doing all the other stuff, nah, it ain't gonna work.
Cam Newton.
Well, hold on, real quick on the take the loss situation. Does any of it matter that we're talking teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs versus teams that probably aren't?
That's also too poorly ran too. Like, yeah, looking at it from that situation.
Like the Wolves Nets one, it's like the Wolves are, think that they're title contenders this year. That's a topic for another day, but they're up
Everyone's
there.
in their feelings, Maze. They're all in their feelings about getting blown out. They don't like it. And I'm like, yo, if you don't like them running up the score, don't let them run up the score. That's my thing.
It seems like chippiness when it's like you're letting your frustration about getting beat come out at any opportunity when it's
sore loser energy.
Games in hand, they're taking a shot. Like you got to run the clock out. Like it has to happen.
It feels like big sore loser energy. Big sore loser energy when you're decking Mike Conley. Mike Conley, by the way, who might be the nicest guy in the NBA, the least confrontational guy in the NBA to this day, Maze, to this day, has yet to have a technical foul called on him in his NBA career. Mike Conley is so nice that in how many years has he played? How many years has he been in the league?
I mean, at least 16,
17 seasons. He's never been teed up by an official. And Dennis Schroeder's going at that dude for stepping out of line.
Like I understand the unwritten rule of it, right? Which is you don't do that. But in that specific isolated case, you've got Schroeder, who's definitely been known to be a little bit testy at times. And you got Mike Conley,
Williams, and Mike Conley. Yes,
senior senator from Minnesota, and all about decorum. And yeah, I think that's a little silly, man. It must have been a lot of Cancun and Tulum energy. People got some rest over the holidays, over the All-Star break, and they came back with renewed intensity. And so we got all these dust ups in such a short period of time. But let's hit the Duke one, because I need Tom's breakdown of this Duke Wake Forest conflict.
I am so in my Homer feelings on this one, and I'm conflicted because I just did this great charity event with the Blue Devils like 3 weeks ago at Cameron Indoor.
Broke bread. You had a good time. It's the first time Cameron Indoor felt like home, I'm sure.
It was great. It was a great experience. But this right here is why people hate Duke. This right here is this exceptionalism about Filipowski, who, if you watch the film, I'm trying to be objective here. If you watch the film, he trips the kid running onto the floor and extends a forearm. Look at this.
I mean, what are we doing here, man? He's like Mufasa getting caught in the wildebeest stampede. Just get out of the way, Filipowski. He
decks him. So the kid goes flying. We don't see it in this clip, but I remember watching it live. And this kid went flying about 30 feet across the court. He got wrecked.
Yeah, it's a 7-footer. What are we doing?
So then he gets carried off the floor. So they same thing happens. Steve Forbes, our coach, and John Shire, the coach of Duke, are shaking hands, and this breaks out, and they do the same Clifford Kerr thing where they're like, oh shit, and they run after, and they crowd around Filipowski, and then he needs to be carried off the floor. Okay? They first report it as an ankle injury. I'm watching the tape. I'm like, I don't see him stepping on someone else's ankle. I don't see a fan stepping on his ankle. I don't know where this ankle injury comes. And then it later comes out that it's a knee injury. Okay. So they got the body part wrong on what the injury is. And then I find out today that they didn't do any imaging on Filipowski's injury. Okay. What are we talking about here? All the headlines said Filipowski injured because we see him get into it with a fan, and then he gets carried off the floor. And then they're now saying, look, I don't know how long he's going to be out. You know, that's a tell. When you say, I don't know how long he's going to be out, and you do no imaging, dude's fine. So I feel like Filipowski, and this is the demon deacon in me talking. He flopped.
And the fact that they're talking about, oh, we can't storm the court. Nah, man. If Wake Forest beats Duke, let Wake Forest storm the court. Right.
So I hear the whole we need to ban storming the court. I understand that you want to take care of the safety of the athletes here. I think that's a better idea, is how do we get the players off the floor before they storm the court? Like, I understand the idea that we need to protect the guys in case some shit goes down. Shit has gone down before and nothing's changed. Like, there have been fights, there have been injuries. There's been a reporter who was trampled and had his leg broken. And like nothing changed about court storming. Yeah. I've done it. At Wake, we beat UNC. They were top 5 in the country, and it was Rashad McCants, Raymond Felton, and it was a big time game. We stormed the court. No issues. So
Julius Hodge, I was going to say Julius Hodge made a great point.
Oh boy. Okay. This feels, I'm very nervous right now.
He made a great point. Folks want to ban court storming. I roll. Do you realize how fun a court storm is for everyone except the losing side? No one who's ever been on the winning side of a court storm dislikes it. What's next? No heckling, no trash talk, no vein pointing after a made 3-point. Oh, brother. My suggestion, 45 seconds, then commence the storm.
There it is.
Countdown clock. Perfect.
Julius Hodge, I love you, man. Like, that is great. He's coming onto this side of the aisle. The guy who got hit in the nuts by Chris Paul is now sticking up for Wake Forest. How about that? Thank you, Julius Hodge.
Full circle moment. But also, you guys are aligned in the hate for Duke.
Oh, I'm full acknowledging that my like a bunch of texts hit my phone about this whole thing. And
also, Caitlin Clark did the same thing, by the way. And
nothing happened, right?
Nothing happened. And I do agree with you. Flop. Kid flopped. Just bad.
Filipowski flop. No, we're not saying the kid flop.
No, not the Stormer. I'm talking about the Duke player. He flopped. His bad. Caitlin Clark did the same thing. Shoved somebody and then had to oversell themselves.
I get it. You're in the heat of the moment.
You have to understand that there's cameras everywhere.
I just couldn't.
Cameras everywhere.
People wanted this to be about the court stormers. It is not. Like the film, when people were showing the film and then the headline or the caption on the tweets or whatever was like, Filipowski injured as a fan collides into him. Like, are you not seeing the film here? Decked him. So I don't know. I feel like Filipowski's going to be fine. He's going to play the next game. Maybe I'm wrong, but if they did no imaging on the knee / the ankle injury and they don't know when he's going to be out, it tells to me that it's just a whole bunch of nothing. It's a bunch of hot air. So go Deeks. And there's one other thing we want to hit before we go is the Cam Newton one. And to go Zapruder film on this, I saw a lot of people making it a big deal about how he took on like 7 dudes and his hat didn't fall off.
Mm-hmm.
But Trey,
there's a compartment on his hat.
Thank you.
That allows his hair to like stick through.
Yep.
It's his line, actually. Go buy Cam Newton's hats. And we're going to discuss Cam Newton. We got to.
But can we wear it?
More of a headband than a hat.
Yeah.
Oh. So is this the sandwich? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is it
a hot dog a sandwich conversation? If there's a hole in the hat and your hair is going through it, it's more secure.
It a visor?
It's a visor.
Visor line?
Yeah. It's a very expensive, classy visor.
But he wrecked those dudes. Cam Newton is 6'5" and 260 pounds. He is a tight end. He is closer to LeBron James than he is Tom Brady. Okay. And what TSP is a top shelf performance. It's a 7-on-7 football team that they all ran up on him. But why? What's the backstory here?
We have yet to find out. But one of the guys that was involved was trash talking. I mean, it's just it's unfortunate.
What does Ed Madec say about that? About Cam Newton standing his ground here?
Oh no, he's all about that. He's all good for him. You know what I mean? Can we play that sports clip just so people can see who Ed Madec is, bro?
We got it.
The YouTube joint, please.
We brought in 2 coaches with drastically.
That's my friend's dad too, Michael Lynch, legend.
We're going to take impressionable,
the scowl. I love it.
Coach. You're going to make him feel like maybe he could do better, even if he's hitting every shot. After
he's probably 35 years old at this time too, by the way.
To see if it's physically affecting him. Most importantly, we're going to have the results of how many shots out of 10 he hit, so we can determine, did the style have anything to do with his performance? You ready? All right, let's do it.
I'll do whatever I need to do to get that player motivated, whether it's yell at him, get in his face.
Yeah, look, I don't know who's been coaching you, and I don't know what kind of attitude that you want to bring. Your girlfriend, your mom, all your friends, they've been kissing your ass. Well, let me tell you what, I'm not here to kiss your ass. Give him the ball. Let's see what he's got.
Oh, the chair.
Knock these free throws down. We need these now. That's the best you got? And you think you're good enough?
Wait, what happened to the chair?
He threw it.
He threw
the chair.
Cut that out.
I don't like to be screamed at. I'd rather you just talk to me. So if I made a mistake, just talk to me. Tell me what I did wrong, and won't let it happen again.
This is the best he's got. Give him the ball.
Look at those khakis.
Hold up. You got to bend those knees.
Listen, that's practice though, Tom. Tom, that's practice, bro.
Not like that. I want the.
It's 6 a.m. That man fired up like that.
And bend those knees. You still don't bend those fucking knees. About that. You don't hold your follow through. Don't want to hold your follow through. Don't want to bend your knees. What do you want to do? Which one is it? Give the ball.
He playing that shit up too. That's
gutless. I think you're gutless.
On the outside, Keegan still looks cool as a cucumber.
Free ball.
But his body is responding. His pulse rate has catapulted to 105. And with that comes increased adrenaline and muscle tension. Constant stress leads to constant tension.
This is amazing.
The muscles can't relax to let chemicals and electrical activity come back into balance.
Now he's the Silver Surfer.
That means less oxygen, more lactic acid, more carbon dioxide, and slower nerve response. It's a chemical recipe that could lead to a mental meltdown.
Yo, this is the best.
Focus, but with him getting in my ear and yelling kind of threw me off, but at the same time, made me want to prove him wrong, that I can knock the free throws down.
Okay, great. You think you're big time because you hit one free throw. Right? Look at me when I'm talking to you, Keith. Look at me over here when I'm talking to you in my eyes, so I know you're with me. And you already think you're God's gift to the world.
Oh,
50%.
he hit another one.
That's the best you got, 50%.
He's losing material. I can see he's losing steam.
Can't even listen. Can't be coached. Still got the elbow out. Still your releases.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's getting himself
first firing. First firing under the shirt.
But it's brutally honest.
What the am I
Yo, he's staring right back at him.
And for some athletes, it works.
I'm just tired of the I gotta do it.
There it is.
Yes, throws the chair.
See what he's made of.
Surprisingly,
You know the producer's like, we're going to give him a chair, guys. We're going to give him a chair.
For this set of free throws, he makes 8 out of 10.
Average. He's average. He's an average player.
Average.
He can go. Get him out of my face.
Wow.
So which style works best? Intimidation?
That's the best you got?
Or encouragement?
That's sweet. That's sweet. I love it. I love it. I love it.
In our test, Keevan made 7 free throws with positive encouragement and made 8 free throws while being berated.
And bend those knees.
But how would this
This is
So to end this note, because I gotta go, when I tore my ACL and I'm back with the doctors, right? He says, so how bad is it? They say I think he tore it. He said he's fucking dead wood. Take him in the back and shoot him.
No! You gave your ACL to this guy. He takes you out back. Old Yeller style.
Yeah. He's done. Put him down.
He said he's dead wood. So my name all year was Dead Wood, bro.
No, bro.
Dead Wood.
Like the HBO show.
I'm glad that we got a chance to show y'all. I love Madec to death. Would run through a fucking wall through him for him.
Murder you because you you tore your ACL.
Sports, bro. Sports makes us sickos. Sports makes us sickos for real. But
oh my god, this encapsulates how sports can just completely transform.
But it's applied to my life though. When I really be thinking about shit that be like quote unquote hard, I think about like I hear Madec, bro, my life coach for real. Like as bad as it sounded, like I'd be like, yo, this shit not even bad, bro. Like, you know, like Madec calling me like a bitch right now. Like I gotta lock in. Like, bro, he called me dead wood. He said, take him in the back and he said, Trayvon, you're dead wood. Just take him in the back and shoot him at this point. I was like, oh shit. But I'm sitting there like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to cry in front of him. You don't want, you know what I mean? But he just made me so like Teflon, like, bro. And when we won, I'm like, it's nothing I could tell that man. It's nothing I could. That man got 5-6 state championships now since us. We gave him his first championship. So he loved us to death. But, you know.
What was the Super Bowl ad with the Office linebacker?
Terry Tate.
Terry Tate. That one. He sounds like Terry Tate, but as a white like NBA not NBA a Terry Tate and JuCo coach. Bro.
Oh, something.
His son plays high school ball right now. So he was a little ass kid when I was saying, but I hope he make it. Man. That's my thing, man.
I hope his ACLs are intact, or else he's being taken out back. Trey, thank you for sharing the beauty.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, man. Thank y'all for allowing me to share my college experience, my college coach with y'all. I don't ever want to hear any basketball takes ever again unless you can withstand Ed Madec, bruh.
Average. You're average.
He made me a
You're
smarter
average.
basketball player, though. Like,
We get it, man.
me leaving a 40% shooter. Like, you don't trust your teammates? He shoots 40. Fuck the 2. We giving up 3. Like, it made me look at basketball so different. He was the analytics guy before, like, all that shit. But, like, you literally had to think it on the court. Like, why are we taking, he would call a mid-range shot a hard 2. A hard 2. Mm-hmm. Why are you taking a hard 2 where we can get 3? He was always about the more. You know what I mean? Drop it off to the big. He get a dunk. He might get a foul. That's 3 more points for us. If we shoot on average 100 threes a game, this is how much we can average. Like, bro's a sicko. But again, shout out to my coach. And thank y'all for letting me give the monologue on him.